Here we go, a little bit of Browns talk today. Hopefully, I am going to be stopping to get me a pumpkin coffee after the gym. Because I heard Human Bean has these, really good ones. Yeah, I don't do Dunkin', and I definitely don't do Starbucks. I do Human Bean. I like their coffee a lot more. I actually like their staff a lot more, too. They're really friendly staff and shit, so... Big fan of them. What the fuck they say? Oh, Royalty Roofing? You guys pay way too much. Alright, should use Roof Doctor. Alright, enough of that. Let's talk about what's been going on. So, I got a couple things I got going on. I'm actually enrolling in school again. Go figure. But, well, I'm not going to put all my personal stuff out here. But doing a project to get a better job, which, whatever. The job I have pays me really, really good money right now, but in life, I'm not really, keen on, staying still. I like to excel to the next level, so, the next plausible thing for me is to go to school and get a certificate in something, so that's what I'm going to do. Diet's been on point, things like that, so we're doing really well. Anywho, Browns news. Let's talk about Browns news and Vikings news, just because I want to talk about it real quick. Then we'll get back to life. Browns. Oh, and we'll talk the crap boys, Dallas crap boys, because it just makes me laugh to see what they do. That franchise is dead, I think. Anywho, so the Browns released Snoop Hundley, and they signed Bailey Zappi to the practice squad, and they kept Shedeur. Jeez, man, I got big long hair on my freaking body. They kept Shedeur Sanders, and they kept Dylan Gabriel. And Kevin Stefanski said that Dylan Gabriel is the backup to Joe Flacco this year, which I agree with to a point. Obviously, I'm not at the practices. I'm not the guy who's, oh yeah, this is going on. I'm not that guy. I don't see it all the time. The eye test tells me that Shedeur Sanders is really good. Really, really good. In contrary, Dylan Gabriel runs the offensive system better than Shedeur Sanders can. He knows the system, so he plays the system better. He has a really nice arm. It's like a Tua kind of arm. He's left-handed just like Tua. I think he's a better version of Tua. Oh, sorry. Oh, morning. I think honestly, I do think he's a better version of Tua. And that's like a very fucking high opinion of him as a player. Because Tua, injury prone, always been injury prone. I think Dylan's really smart. I think he's a good player. I really do. I think he's a good player. Sanders has something. When he's on the field, there's this it factor that he has, and I'm not taking anything away from him or Dylan or Kevin Stefanski's choice of that. I'm just saying, and this is for all the disgruntled Sanders fans. I have a Sanders jersey. I literally have a Brown Sanders jersey. Okay, I literally do. But. And with that being said, he's not ready yet. He's not. He's used to one system. He's used to that spread system they ran in Colorado, the spread system they ran in Jackson State. He's not used to this system, the zone read system. When Judkins comes back, this is between him and Sampson. Oh my God. I think Ford's on the way out with those two. But Dylan knows the system. Shedeur doesn't know it. You can tell he doesn't know the system that well. The first game against Carolina, made great plays, out there. I would have liked to see him against Philly. He didn't play. Last game against the Rams, Was it a great game? No. 4 out of the 5 offensive linemen were released. None of the receivers he threw to made the team in that game. Okay? And everyone wants to go, oh my God, he sucks, he's terrible. Oh, Dylan's so much better. No, he was with the threes. Kevin knows what he's doing with these quarterbacks. I don't know why everyone's like, oh my God, he sucks, or Kevin's sabotaging him. He's not. He's literally not. From all the years in Minnesota that I watched Kevin Stefanski coach on the sidelines, he's not sabotaging anybody. If anything, this is the best thing ever for Shedeur Sanders. The best rookies have to wait to play, which is what happened to Justin Fields. Justin Fields is still getting his foot under him. Justin Fields is an athlete, but he got thrown in there right away. Patrick Mahomes got to wait. J.J. McCarthy, that everybody will see this year, got to wait. Tua struggled his first year. You have so many people who struggled their first year, and we have a very results-driven league where people don't get developed. Nick Chubb behind Kareem Hunt, developing. I think running backs have a easier time to adapt to the league. Oh God, what is this? What is this? Oh Lord, a tree fell down. But so you gotta let these kids develop and let them learn. And then back to that, I think Dylan's pretty much a finished product. I don't. This is weird to say, and I know there'll be people who don't agree with it. I don't think Dylan's going to get any better than what you see right now on the field. I think he's a finished product. I really do. He's had all the time to show his skills in college. The way he throws the ball is with such velocity and things like that. The game looks a frame slower for him, but I think this is the best Dylan Gabriel you're going to get. And I kind of think the Browns know that. I think they do. Or else, why would they keep 2 rookies? You know what I mean? Why would they keep 2 rookies? Got my gorilla mode for this big workout today. But why are you going to keep 2 rookies? Why? Just why keep 2 rookies? You're in the same situation that RG3 and Kirk Cousins were, but this is completely different. RG3 could have been a great quarterback, but they ruined him when they let him run that ball too much. They ruined his career. Now, that's not all on Mike Shanahan. That's also on RG3 himself. Because, hey, you got to know to go down. You got to know to protect your legs. You got to know to do this stuff. But, that's the past. But we're in kind of that same situation. I do think that Shedeur will end up being. I think he'll end up on the field this year. I really do. I'm bona fide certain of it. So I'm not exactly sure what capacity that will be, but yeah, it'll be very interesting to see, how that plays out on the Browns this year, especially with Tillman and Isaiah Bond and Jerry Jeudy and the tight ends. I think they have an underrated receiving and underrated receivings, running backs, and an offensive line core. I really do. I think they're very talented. I think the Browns are very talented. I don't think they have big names, but I think they are a very talented squad. That's how I'm going to put that. Minnesota Vikings traded for Adam Thielen. I believe it was a 6th-round pick. It might have been a 7th-round pick. Don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert. I just love football. When it comes to that, I am excited as a Vikings fan. I have a J.J. McCarthy jersey. This one's not in the truck, but I do have one. I'm very excited about it because Adam Thielen was working with J.J. McCarthy earlier in his career, throwing the ball, things like that. And Adam said there's something special there. And how do you fail when you got coached by Jim Harbaugh and now your coach is Kevin O'Connell, both quarterbacks in the NFL? You know what I mean? J.J. McCarthy is set up for so much success. It's sickening. Jordan Addison's going to miss the first 3 games. on a suspension. I can't remember what it was, what he did. I can't remember. I think maybe it's substance abuse policy or performance enhancers or whatever the fuck, or some stupid. But Justin Jefferson, you got the other rookie that you drafted. Now you have Thielen, T.J. Hawkinson, like Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason, with, let's not forget, a Brian Flores-led defense. J.J. McCarthy is, I am so excited to watch Vikings football this year. Oh my God. Vikings football is going to be sweet. The way the free agency they did for the offense and defensive line and everything, that is going to be an insane squad to watch. It really is, especially if Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones are as good as I think they can be. Because Jordan Mason, when he got a chance for San Fran, he blew up and he was tearing it up. My fantasy team last year when I picked him up, God, he was so good. And they kind of run almost that same zone running scheme, kind of downhill, and they're going to give him the ball. It's going to be a good team to watch. And the other thing I would like to bring up, the Dallas Cowboys. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. And then we'll get into videos about my new diet and things like that. I'm going to keep changing it up and things like that just because I just like talking about football. But the Dallas Cowboys traded Micah Parsons for 2 first-round picks. They traded away their best defensive player. Trayvon Diggs, I love you, but you are not. You're not the game wrecker that Micah Parsons can be. And that's no dig at Trayvon Diggs. I think Trayvon Diggs is really, really good. I do think that he has his moments where it's like, what the hell are you doing? Because I think he's too confident in his abilities. But just like Stephon Diggs, I think him and Stephon are B+, A- players. They've always been that. I don't think they're not world breakers, but they're really good. Both of them. I will never say anything less than them, but they're not world breakers. They're just really, really good players. But when you talk about an A+ player, an A++ player, a game wrecker, a guy that can save you a game, you're talking about Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons getting traded to the NFC North, damn it, by Vikings, JJ. Better watch out for that guy. But why does a franchise run by Jerry Jones, come on, squirrel, get out of the way, I don't want to hit you, run by Jerry Jones, a millionaire, make such stupid decisions? You could have kept Dez Bryant there for more years. That fell apart, so you lost your number one receiver. Didn't have one for a couple years until it's escaping me right now of what their CeeDee Lamb came around. You didn't have a number one receiver. You could have had Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant was great. Dez Bryant is the same kind of receiver. His career ended up being he was a possession receiver, but that would have been fine for Dak. It really would have. Brandon Cooks, all that. I don't know how you let your best players always go. DeMarco Murray, you let go. You had Zeke. Okay. You would have got more out of Zeke's career had you kept DeMarco Murray around. Zeke wouldn't have, honest to God, Dallas could have been a juggernaut by now. You let DeMarco Murray go when you had Tony Romo. You get Zeke. What are you doing? You could have had if DeMarco Murray was on the same field as Zeke when Tennessee had DeMarco and a young, inexperienced Derrick Henry who didn't talk to Eddie George yet, because we know now what happened with that. Because Eddie George is the reason for all this Derrick Henry now. If they would have kept DeMarco Murray and had Zeke at the exact same time, in the exact same issue of the career, even if DeMarco was 31 years old, with Zeke, you would have had the best backfield in the NFL with a possession receiver in Dez Bryant and old ass Jason Witten. And that's your team. And you had Brandon Cooks. Now you have CeeDee Lamb, but you still could have had an old ass Dez Bryant on the team. They got George Pickens though. I like the combo. I do like the combo. It's going to be interesting for me to see those two play together, though, because I'm not sure it's going to work. Because I was high on George Pickens coming out of college, but I don't know. We're going to have to really see, because I don't know if the Steelers was just a fluke and he just didn't have the quarterbacks to get it to him. But in the NFL, and I'm using DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae Adams as a good example for this. Actually, not Devontae. He always goes for elite players. I'm gonna use DeAndre Hopkins as the shelf. DeAndre Hopkins has had over 11 quarterbacks his entire career and has been able to produce with every single one of them, no matter what. George Pickens hasn't been able to do that. Your quarterback and receivers, I know they say receivers only good as his quarterback. A quarterback is only as good as his receivers. Because if you can't get open and can't make difficult catches and catch the ball, you are not worthy of having an elite quarterback. I say that because the greats, Randy Moss, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, I'll even throw Chris Carter in there as a great. Larry Fitzgerald. I'm not saying Chad Johnson. He had one quarterback, Carson Palmer, who was one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the entire NFL. Terrell Owens, better than that. Terrell Owens is another one. I'm going to exclude Devontae Adams again. I'm saying this because he only goes for elite quarterbacks. He hasn't had anything else. That's coming at you, Devontae. Make their quarterbacks better. No matter what. I don't know what George Pickens is yet. But I think this year we're going to find out. I like the Cowboys offense. I like the Cowboys defense. What are they going to do at the end? I don't know, but we'll find out. Without Micah Parsons, the defense is still okay, but it's not great. So that's definitely going to be something to watch. Also, I'm going to the gym, and then I'll go get my pumpkin coffee. I might do a review and post that later too. So, because I'm really excited for that pumpkin coffee because it's like fall out, so I'm gonna be all swelled up and jacked, hopefully. Because I already got pretty good breakfast in me, so we're gonna be pretty good. So, I'm in the video on that note because I'm like, this is hitting super good. So, cardio. Arms, a little bit of shoulders, not too much. My buddy Andy's supposed to be coming today. We'll see if he shows up. Probably not, but we'll see. But all right, guys. You guys have a good day. And get them weights, exercise, believe in yourself, and find your purpose. Remember what you're doing. Remember what you started for. Stay positive. That's it, man. That's life. That's life.